All right, this is going to be a quick video, I hope. I am going to start doing a weekly check-in video for a couple of reasons. One, I have determined that I love filming. I'll get ideas. I will just turn on the camera. I see something interesting. Filming is not my issue. My issue is the editing because I like for things to be as perfect as possible, and that slows me down because I'm sitting there listening to everything playing back, and it's just slowing me down. So yeah, I'm gonna start just filming and without editing as I hear buses and I hear my neighbors upstairs, whatever. I am gonna start filming weekly videos. I'm going to start filming weekly check-in videos. One, so that I get comfortable on camera talking to you all. But two, I need to get into the practice of uploading like consistently every week. And I think this will be very useful for that. And also just to have a time capsule of where I am today in my life. So I have something to look back at and see like how far I've grown. So that's my plan. And that's why I'm filming this check in. Okay, so here are some things that happened this week. Divorce. I filed papers December 1st, 2025. I paid extra to have the sheriff serve my ex, and I don't know what happened, but the papers had just been sitting and sitting. I called the family court. I called the sheriff's office, like, hey, what's going on? I checked in every other week. Nothing was happening, and it was getting to the point where I was going to have to ask for an extension, like a 30-day extension to serve him. But finally, the week before the deadline, I got a woman at the sheriff's office. I told her what was going on, and she actually looked up my case. Like, I don't know if the other people who answered were actually like looking my case up, but she looked it up, and then she saw how long the sheriff's office have had the paperwork to serve, and she was like, "Oh no, no." She, I'm so grateful for her because she actually went and found the deputy who has had the paperwork since December 1st and gave me his cell phone number. And she said, "Go ahead and call him." I was like, "Okay." I didn't call him, but I think she told him that she gave out the cell phone number, and it was like magic. Suddenly, that same day, the ex got served. It was amazing. So you definitely have to stay on top of people. I also got the letter for the first hearing, and I'm like, okay, so like things are moving forward, but it's not really like a real hearing. It's called a scheduling conference, of which we're just going to talk about, I guess, the case in general, but scheduling the actual court dates, I don't know, but it just seems like a lot of bureaucracy, if you ask me. So, anyhow, still in a holding pattern, and that scheduling conference isn't until like March. It's February 10th. So, it's definitely a hurry up and wait type of situation. More to come. The weather. The weather has been terrible, and it sucks because I can't take my kid outside. It's just too dangerous. -6 wind chill. I don't have time. I'm not acclimated to survive in sub-zero conditions. So I haven't really been going outside often unless I have to drive my kid to school or go to work. So today was actually a 40-degree day, and I was so excited. The ice is starting to melt. the streets are getting clearer. People are still driving crazy, but I was just happy to not just have like a glimpse of, I don't know, not even spring, but just a normal temperature for out here during the winter. So that was the weather. Taxes. This is a very interesting tax year because as of December 31st, 2025, I was still legally married. So I have to file as married. I know that some folks will go ahead and file, do like a joint, married filing jointly tax return, but I decided just based off of everything that happened for the 2024 where we owed like thousands of dollars in taxes, and I was like, what is going on? It was terrible. And just based on my research, I decided that married filing separately was the better option, especially for me, because my labor is not free. I'm not going to continue doing your taxes. Like, he literally didn't do anything. He would just, the most he would do would be to give me his W 2 information, maybe like the day before everything's due. What's the due date for taxes? April 12th? Yeah. And he thought he was good for doing that. And I had to like beg him over and over again, but that's water under the bridge. I decided, no, married filing single. So I actually completed my taxes today. There was a bit of strategy in what I did, because when you file married filing separately, you're not eligible for all the tax credits you get when you file a joint return. So, yeah, I'll make another video about what I did, especially once I see how it plays out. Yeah. Oh, here comes a cop car. One of the downsides of living in the city center, lots of noise. Let's see if they're going to drive by. Oh, revving up to the emergency. And there they go. All right. Anything else about taxes? Let me think real quick. Well, not taxes, but I mentioned to him that our son needs a passport. And if you're unaware, in order to get a passport for a child under the age of 16, both the parents have to be present at the application office, which for me would be my local post office. And it just dawned on me, like, I want to do some traveling. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. He doesn't have a passport. So I figure the best time is now, especially once before everything is finalized, because if he doesn't agree, well, then what am I going to do? Like, I'm sure there's a workaround. I think you can show like your divorce decree or whatever, but I don't have time for that. So I did that application today as well. I filled out the application. You can't actually sign it until you're in the passport office. But that will be a conversation for today as well, trying to get scheduling for him to join us at the local post office. So more to come on that. The weekend. The weekend. Custody weekend. So currently we're doing every other weekend. So I have my son during the week, and every other weekend, my ex has time with our son. So he takes him, he goes back to the house, to his old room and all that stuff. Well, this weekend is Valentine's weekend. And I know for a fact he has somebody else in his life and has had them in his life while we were married. So I'm very curious to see if he goes through with picking up our son on Friday and then having him over Saturday and Sunday, or if he comes up with an excuse or something, I'm just genuinely curious. I'll end up calling him tomorrow because he hasn't replied to my email. I sent an email about the taxes, about the passport situation, and about, if you have any, if you need an adjustment to this weekend, let me know. So, more to come on that. All right, that's going to be my check in for this week. I'm going to go ahead, turn the camera off, and upload. I'm just going to upload, no editing. Just do it. Okay, that's what I'm going to do.